Okay, I admit it. I was wrong about Jake Paul. Jake Paul is very, very good for boxing. Jake Paul is one of the best promoters in boxing. And I very, very, very much hate that I could not see the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight because I was otherwise engaged. But I'm going to go back and watch that card, watch the Amanda Serrano fight with Katie Taylor. And I'm doing this with anticipation that the next stage of this Jake Paul story will be better than the last one. And that he will take this call out that he received from the great Andre Ward. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And Mike Tyson does it again. Jake Paul does it again. But this time they did it together. And they had an incredible event that even my mother watched. I couldn't believe it. My mother called me and said, I fell asleep. I didn't get to watch the main event. But what did you think about the Jake Paul fight? My mother watched it on Netflix. My father watched it on Netflix. So many eyes were on that fight. And this is the second time that Mike Tyson has done this. Mike Tyson did it when he fought Roy Jones. Now Mike Tyson's done it with Jake Paul. Jake Paul has done this before. Jake Paul did it when he went over to the UK or wherever it was and he fought Tommy Fury, when all this social media stuff, right? But one of the things that Jake Paul has really done also is feature women in a way that is incredible, man. So when my mother said, hey, I watched this fight, I thought to myself, wow, okay, I'm 100% behind this Jake Paul thing. I'm 100% behind this Jake Paul thing. Now, I'm glad that Jake Paul did not knock out Mike Tyson, because that would have been a very bad thing for Jake Paul. You have accusations that the fight was scripted from guys like Oscar De La Hoya, who believe that Mike Tyson, if he really wanted to hurt Jake Paul, could have. I'm not so sure because Mike Tyson's like, he's like 60 years old. But anyway, it goes, man. It drove a lot of conversation for the sport of boxing, clearly drove a lot of money for the sport of boxing. You have these huge purses for women fighters. Puerto Rico, shout out to Puerto Rico, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. But what's next? Well, Andre Ward, I caught wind and said, hey, man, why doesn't Jake Paul fight me? And I thought to myself, yeah, why don't you fight Andre Ward? You guys are fighting at heavyweight. You're not that much bigger than Andre Ward. Andre Ward is about 6 foot, 6'1". Andre Ward is he's over 40 years old, but still not too far away. He hasn't had a fight in 7 years. Better than Mike Tyson, right? Who hasn't really been competitive for 30 years. So how old is Mike? Yeah, Mike ain't been really competitive at that level for like 30 years. Andre Ward, this would be perfect. And I would support that fight. I would pay for that fight. I like that fight because number one, I get to see Andre Ward in the ring again. Seeing Andre Ward in the ring again would be similar to me like when I saw Layla Ali in the ring for the first time. I hadn't seen Muhammad Ali in the ring since I was a little itty bitty kid. And then I see his daughter some years ago come out and she's throwing punches, moving like him, looking like him. And I was like, man, it just brought memories back of Ali, right? Just seeing his daughter. Man, the same thing for Andre Ward, just to see Andre Ward feigning again, seeing Andre setting traps again, seeing Andre dig into the body, maybe, every once in a while, throwing that hip shot on Jake Paul. I think that would be fun, man. Now, I'm not confused. Jake Paul is going to get hurt if Andre Ward wants to hurt him because, Jake Paul can't handle that. I know full well Jake Paul can't handle it. But look, Jake Paul's not an undefeated fighter. Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. So you know full well Jake Paul ain't about to beat Andre Ward having lost to Tommy Fury. But I like it because, hey, man, go ahead and script it. I don't even care if it's scripted. Andre can carry him a couple rounds, man. As long as that undercard is good, as long as you got, fighters like Khadijah Green, Get her back in there with Francois DeZoran Cruz. You could have Cecilia Brækhus on the card. Give Cecilia Brækhus, like one more shot, man, for all the great things she did for women's boxing. I think it could be spectacular, man. You may be able to get some old school fighters in there too, man. Just, hey, man, might as well, man. Our brain cells work, but hey, if you got a lot of money, you can find some doctors to help you out with that. Anyway, I just wanted to say, man, I like that fight. I like that Andre reached out. And the beautiful thing is that's like $100 million fight. That fight's going to make $100 million. Andre Ward and Jake Paul. And honestly, man, it'd be an opportunity for Andre Ward probably to make more money in one fight than he made in his entire career. And look, if you look at the history of boxing, ain't nothing wrong with exhibitions. Nothing's wrong with exhibitions. If you look back all the way back into the 70s, 90s when Tom Melanois was fighting against Tom Cribb, those guys would only have a fight every once in a while because it was illegal. And then what they would do is after they had their real fight, they would go and replay the fight and kind of play act through the fight in a legal fashion and allow people to buy tickets and all of that stuff. So they made a lot of money off the exhibitions. The gambling was for like the underground fights, and the exhibitions were like the fights that you really made all the money in. Hey, and I think that would be a wonderful thing for Andre Ward. I don't want to see Andre Ward in like bare knuckle or anything like that when you're going to get all cut up and gashed up. But man, I think, like I said in the beginning, I think I was wrong. I was very harsh on Jake Paul. To tell you the truth, quite honestly, man, because, hey, he be talking crazy and, he's fighting guys that are not real fighters and talking about he's the best in the world and what he wants to do with Canelo. But hey, if he wants Canelo, if he can get past Andre Ward, then hey, maybe the Canelo fight is there for this kid. And if he's able to do that, I mean, I can't hate on that dude's path, man. I can't hate on that dude's path. It's just blessings that were meant for him, regardless if it was, and he's actually really boxing. I also have to give Jake Paul credit, man. Jake Paul taking real punches. You know what I mean? Giving real punches, taking real punches. Even these old dudes, seeing as that he didn't start, boxing till really late. Now, I do think he's probably juiced up, my personal opinion. He's probably juiced up. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm sure Andre Ward will have the necessary testing in place to get it done. But I love the fight. I definitely want to see the fight. I'll pay for the fight. If it's on Netflix, I guess we won't have to pay for the fight because who knows what their budget is. Are they willing to put $50, $60 million in to a fight like that? $100 million into a fight like that? Man, maybe they will. Anyway, as long as whatever rights they have, as long as they share some of those rights with some organization that represents boxing, I like it all, man. I like it all. I like that fight. Next Jake Paul fight, especially if they do it in Dallas, I might actually show up. Yeah, man, I think I might actually show up in person to see that fight, man. It's good stuff, man. I'm happy that Andre Ward said that, though. Hey, man, if you're going to try to fight these guys, why not me? Yeah, let these older guys get this money. Man, let Nonito Donaire get in there, man. Y'all want to be these practice boxers going in there. Matter of fact, Jake Paul can go ahead after he fights Andre Ward, man. Let him go fight. Who can we bring back? Let him get in there with Bernard Hopkins, man. See if Bernard Hopkins still got some hands, man. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.